Giles Thomas here for musculardevelopment.com here at a secret location with the Olympia favorite, Brandon Curry. Brandon, it's so good to see you, mate.
Good to see you too, man. Good to see you.
Yeah. And we just arrived at the hotel, and he said, carry on walking, Giles. He says, my wife and the children all arriving. Are you happy to see them?
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely. Look, good energy they bring in, you know. And they're excited to see me, and it just kind of sets the stage, lets me know, this weekend is kicking, and it's going to be rolling downhill from here.
So it's Wednesday now. When did you fly in?
I flew in Saturday, got in Saturday evening, so I've been here Saturday evening, just getting adjusted, let my body adjust, and just relaxing and just getting the details done, you know.
You didn't get any problems with the flight, with holding water, or anything like that?
You know, by the scale, really wasn't anything to worry about. I actually lost a pound from the morning I left when I got here and woke up the next morning. So I don't think I was affected that much. Typically, if I hit a rebound, it'll be like the second day that my body will kind of just figure out, where am I at, and it'll maybe hold a little bit. But then after that day, I'm back to normal pretty much. So yeah, travel is not that much of an issue if I can adjust to the time, you know.
What about when you're traveling? Do you drink plenty of water on the flight, or?
No, it's not. It's hard to drink a lot of water on a plane, you know, because they're stingy, you know. But I think that's in the advantage. You know, if you're drinking a lot of water, maybe I'll probably hold more. But considering I'm not drinking a lot of water, I don't have any water to hold.
I heard once there was a British bodybuilder, and he was traveling over for the Olympia. I think it was about 10, 12 years ago. And he said the rule of thumb was you have to drink a litre for every hour you're on a flight.
Yeah, it just sounds like you're going to annoy your neighbors. Hopefully you're sitting on the aisle seat.
Yeah. So obviously the whole crew's here. How often is Abdullah coming up to see you?
You know, he's right down the hall, so at the end of the hall. So he has freedom to come whenever he chooses. So I'll see him pop up all day, and if I don't answer the door, he's calling my phone. I'm like, oh wait, bro, I'm on the toilet or something, you know. So I'll see him all throughout the day, no matter, you know, no telling what time of night. You know, you never know. So he has his own little things going on in his head, and sometimes he just needs to check on me when he wants to check on me. So.
I think what's unusual is, I mean, we talked about this before we started filming, is how I mean, you're always so cool, calm, composed, relaxed, which is just what you need at a contest as big as the Olympia. You're saying Abdullah's he kind of absorbs all the stress for you.
Yeah, you know, he has, you know, a lot of people around him chit-chatting, the crew, you know, people giving him opinions, and I just told him at the gym, I said, man, stay in your own head, please. I trust you. Yeah. I want to hear from you. I don't want to hear from anybody else's opinion. I want to hear from you. Stay in your head. Don't let anybody else influence what's going on in your head. So, you know, we have a synergistic relationship. You know, he's more fast-paced. I'm more slow, so we kind of even each other out. So
is this I mean, you moved over to QA at the end of 2016,
16, yeah. In 2016, after the Olympia, I made a visit late in the year for the 2017 season, So
it's still going well, working together for the last 2 years. Do you feel like it's getting better than he's knowing your body better now?
You know, the thing about him is he's able to make adjustments. So he's very aware when my body changes, very aware. So, you know, this preparation is nothing like the Arnold preparation. But we're still able to capitalize and come in the good shape and condition and still able to do things we need to do, regardless of if everything's identical or not. So you have a coach that is kind of able to evolve and adjust, and he's shown that he's able to evolve and adjust, and that's good because my body's not the same as it was for earlier this year.
So I mean, I was at the 2017 Olympia, and I remember you were in the first call out, and you took 8th place. I thought maybe you'd be maybe top 6 based upon the fact that you were in that first call out. Last year you took 5th place. This year, there's a lot of talk that I would say. I think me and AJ said on Global Muscle, maybe 65% of people think that you will win the Olympia. Is that a lot of pressure coming into the show, or is it just kind of, is it motivating? Is it a positive or a negative?
It's definitely a motivating factor, but to me, it's still in my mindset. It's just like a neutral thing. It's like, I guess I prepared myself mentally for this stage of being a favorite, knowing that when you are going to be a favorite, you're going to have a lot of support. You're going to hear a lot of good noise. So it's motivating, but I know I have to do the work. So I'm really just focusing on capitalizing on that positive energy more so than anything, you know. I just want to capitalize on it. I don't want to absorb it too early and act like, you know, it's, you know, I don't want to feel it until it's time to feel it.
Yeah. I mean, remember an episode, you were on our show, Global Muscle Radio, very recently, and you said, actually, I find it when people say that so-and-so, Bonac or Dexter, or you find, or Rowley, that is more of a motivating factor because you find that motivates you more than if people just say, oh, well, I think he's going to win it, and that's great.
Yeah, I like the diversity of opinions, and when I see somebody, talk about the diversity of a different opinion than maybe I've been hearing all the time, it keeps the balance there for that mental balance to let me understand that, yes, that's right. Somebody does have that opinion, and it kind of gives you that drive to say, okay, I got to make sure that opinion doesn't matter, or, whatever that may be. So,
I mean, how many times have we heard, he's a potential Mr. Olympia, this guy's going to be the next Mr. Olympia, and sometimes it can be the kiss of death because maybe at the back of their mind, they get a little bit complacent thinking, oh, everyone thinks I'm going to win it, and then someone like Ronnie Coleman comes in and wins it, and it's a completely, plus, with last year, the night 2017 to 2018, I mean, no one really saw Sean Roden on the horizon. I mean, if you'd have said to me this time last year, sat here, that Sean Roden would be a favorite to win the Olympia, I probably would have gone, no, I don't think so.
Right. In the back of my mind, I think about, I don't want to be Flex Wheeler, I don't want to be that guy that, everybody's thinking is going to be the next guy, and then it doesn't happen, So in the back of my mind, that's always one of the scenarios I'm thinking, no. I don't want to absorb this feeling, or, this momentum is great, but, I don't want to get to me too quickly. I want to use it as feel that energy, use that energy positively to keep pushing and keep doing what I need to do. But it's definitely not a done deal. All these guys are dangerous. And like I said, this is an open year. So my work's not done until it's done. So I just got to capitalize and finish on the work that's been done.
I mean, I think the best package I've seen from you, as I said before we started filming, was the finals, the nighttime at the Arnold Classic. That, for me, was the best. Because I said before, at the judging, I thought that it was very... I thought maybe even Bonac could tip the scales at the judging, but the night show, you improved so much. I said to Steve Bleckman and Ron, I said, no, he said, he's pulled ahead. Bonac's kind of stayed the same. I think he's definitely got this one. How has your physique improved since the Arnold Classic? What have you done to really... Is it a matter of just coming in heavier, or are you looking to kind of... sorry, someone's at the door.
It's a totally different physique, It's meaning the way the physique has responded. This preparation has been totally different. I've been able to maintain or even, I guess, build more muscle. And
do you want to get the door? Sorry, Hector's going to get. Sorry, we've somebody at the door. I think it's Abdullah now. So we'll keep rolling.
I told him what, 6:30. Oh, it's made. Okay. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Thank you. Bit of room service there. Sorry, it's made.
That was my coach. I was like, I did not tell him at 6 o'clock.
That's definitely not Abdullah.
Yeah, it's definitely not. But they do the turn down service here, so 2 times a day they're trying to fix your room. So it's a good thing. But what was that?
We're talking about Abdullah and physique, how it's improved since the
physique is definitely improved. It's overall fullness, overall size. I think I've been able to get the glutes and hamstrings to be even more developed and come out with more detail. The back is even more detailed, is what we've been noticing a lot this year. I think I'll be very, very much dominant from the back. This show in particular will be one of my strengths. I just think I'm bringing a package that is going to compare differently than people have seen my body compared to some of these guys before. And I think it's really going to be in my advantage.
Sorry, in what way?
It's just going to be a bigger, fuller, more mature package. Okay. I think it's the maturity that you're going to see. Yeah. I think that's been probably the main factor as I'm in this part of my career, is the muscle maturity. I just keep maturing. It keeps changing my physique in ways that it just work to my advantage. Yeah. And I don't know if any other guys are in this phase, but for me, it just seems like I'm in this phase where my body is just changing for the better. Changing for the better. It's easier to hold muscle. It's just easier to do a lot of things that it wasn't easy to do before. And I feel bigger. I feel like a more dominant. I'll be more dominant bodybuilder on stage. I feel more complete as well. Just gradually grinding out, trying to improve these weaknesses, and focus on bringing a complete package with great balance and symmetry. That's all we've been doing, and I think I've been able to just slowly chuck away at that and slowly improve with that gradually. So even though it's these minute changes, in the big scheme of things, they make a big impact when you see the complete package on stage.
So, I mean, for me, I spoke to Abdullah and I said, well, I commented on, how you should improve for the Olympia. For me, it was purely balance and detail. That was it. But he said, oh, I want to make improvements to your legs and your glutes, your hamstrings. And so, I mean, I didn't think you needed to get bigger. I think felt like you needed a little bit more detail. But you will, I think you're going to be a little bit heavier this year, aren't you?
I'm definitely going to be heavier. I just think it's just a factor of bodybuilding. It's not the goal necessarily, but when you're training and you putting the work in, and your body wants to progress. It wants to progress in certain fashions, and we just go with it. We're not going to prevent it from doing what it needs to do just to stay in a box or a frame. We're just going to take what we can get out of the progression and just try our best to bring it in tight condition as we can. And this is what my coach is having to balance. I'm having to trust him with his eyes, that he can capitalize on the improvements that we make and bring it into quality condition for the stage in this event. And I'm confident that we can do it. I mean, I don't see any reason why we can't bring even a better package than the Arnold to the Olympia stage.
So, I mean, what were you, let's take, because sometimes people use body weight as the only measurement of progress. So you were 242 at the Arnold. What do you think? I know it's hard to sometimes get an exact number, but what do you think, what does Abdullah think you will be by the time you walk on stage Saturday night?
We don't think about it. We'll know when we know, but it won't be relative to the look of the physique. I don't think. Just like me being heavier at last year's Olympia than the Arnold wasn't relative to the look of the way I looked in the Arnold.
That's what I want to hear.
So it's not really a point to where we're going to say we're going to be here and that's complete. We can make predictions, but the body's going to the look of the body is going to dominate. The decision over the numbers. And the numbers help as a guide, but it didn't tell you the full story. And we've learned that. And like I said, I just need to get crispy, man. I just need to be crispy. We need to be dry. I need to be as dominant as possible on stage. We don't want any questions of who the champion is once they see us. He wants 3 poses, and they've got the decision already understood.
There's so much excitement around this Olympia because it is kind of a different Olympia with no reigning champion being there. It's like in 1998 when there was no Dorian Yates, 2000 and what was the other year? What was the other year? I can't remember now. Sorry?
2004? I mean 94? No Dorian?
No. My mind's gone completely blank now.
93 was last year?
Well, 91 was Haney's last year. Like those kind of years where we've got no, there's a vacant throne. Was that an added motivator? Because I've interviewed Sean Clarida, and he said the 212, and he was saying he got really excited when he learnt that Flex Lewis wasn't going to be there. He said that was a big motivating factor.
Well, the main motivation with me is that I thought I could beat Sean.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I'm coming to Arnold. I think, okay, now it's just time to go after Sean. So that was the main motivation for me. And then the fact that he's not in the Olympia, it's like, okay, it's open. I don't have Sean to focus on taking off the throne, but okay, somebody's got to step up. All these guys are going to be hungry, just as I am. So I got to keep everybody at bay. I got to fight it. I got to make sure I keep this distance on everybody that, of course, I was able to beat at the Arnold. So it's like, I'm hungry just to win. I'm hungry just to be a Mr. Olympia champion at the end of the day.
Can you taste it, man?
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who I got to beat. Just to stand there and be the champion at the end of the day is what I've been hungry for this whole career. So to having the ability to literally see it and be here this weekend and try to capitalize on this opportunity is just a blessing, but I can't take it for granted, man. I got to give it all we got.
Do you find when you're like on the treadmill in those early morning cardio sessions and you start thinking about your acceptance speech and getting your hands on that sando, is that sort of thing you visualize, or do you just think about what you've got to do with terms of your diet and your training and Groundhog Day, and is that the sort of thing you think about?
You can't. You often. I don't necessarily go after thinking about those things, but when they come up and you're doing something, you just get in that mind state to where you are are processing the experience before it happens. So, yeah, I've processed these experiences way before they've happened, and they've become more vivid than they have been previously in my career.
That's what I'm shooting for.
So yeah, it's just become more vivid, more real. I can't imagine. I can't tell you how many people have talked to me about their dreams and different things that they've seen, and they're like, man, So I was like, so that those kind of confirmations and details, it's like, man, so I'm not the only one just kind of seeing these things and preparing myself for these things. So.
And your wife Brandy, she put up a post about the significance of the number 15 kept popping up. It popped up in different ways in your life with your children, everything, wasn't it? And she sees it as like a sign from God,
Pro-Tan 15-year anniversary this year, with the Olympia, being with the Olympia. So it's like, my son wore that number. It's like, multiples of 15 have been popping up. So it's like, everywhere I've looked, everywhere I look, it's like on a regular basis, I see that number. So it's one of those weird things that just reminds you of the possibility, and continues to. It's like that affirmation continues to just say, okay, this is right on the horizon, man. Do you want it, man? It's in your grasp. Is it time? Let's go.
We all love a good storyline in bodybuilding. We need this. I mean, I'm referring to the 2016 Olympia at the press conference, and I think Bob Chick went to you last, and you were kind of like, "Well, I'm just happy to be here," and they were like, "Well, you're going to go to 212," and you kind of didn't have much to say, and then 2017 you came and you got 8th place. You came back last year, you took 5th place. This year you won the Arnold, and it's like now you're going in as like the hot favorite for the Olympia. I mean, it's like, I've been at 16, 17, 18, and obviously this Olympia now, which we're coming to on this weekend, and it's like it's a really nice story to have followed from. I know it's not the beginning, 2016, but for me, there's been a real rise.
Right. Life is all about these dynamic storylines, and everybody's had these kind of experiences, whether they're good or the bad. So it's like it's a beautiful thing to feel like something like that is possibly happening to you, and progress is always something that you want to see in life, and some people I'm just blessed to be in a position to experience it right now in my life. So, I'm just fully awake and present in the moment. I'm not thinking about what was behind me, and I'm only thinking about what's ahead of me only so far as this weekend. You know what I mean? So, because it's right on the horizon. But I'm just staying in the moment this weekend. I'm enjoying the process. I'm trying to get the fans to be involved as much as possible. I did a little Q&A while I was here. I've done some filming of some things that I've been doing for my preparation to kind of give some feedback post Olympia, so people can look inside of the experience. And I'm planning on hopefully documenting just a little bit more interpersonal stuff just for the fans in the process, so they can kind of get into the emotional, the journey of the experience with me. Maybe after the fact, where was my mindset at? Where was, what kind of meals did I eat? How did I prepare here? So, just because I feel like, you kind of give back to the process. A lot of people are curious. A lot of people want to know, and I can't wait to really just kind of share. So I'm preparing myself to, just be able to share this experience with as many people as possible, with the aim on you're going to come away with a victory.
Been a very inspirational story. I mean, I actually reposted it. I think it was a Nicandro Vision does all the motivational videos, and there was one of you posing and training, and it was a voiceover from you, and I reposted it on my Instagram, and he was saying, I was having a bit of a bad day at the time, a bit of a bad couple of hours, and I remember watching it. It was only a few days ago, and it was like you just said, never give up, and it's like you're someone that didn't give up, Brandon. You didn't. You could have. I remember I was talking to Brandy, and she was saying, things were, kind of like you didn't know where it was headed a few years ago, and you were in a bit of like a dark place, and it was a bit like, what am I kind of doing with this? And then you went to QA, and kind of everything fell into place. The Beta and Abdullah and the team over there, and it's kind of everything's just been this constant progression, Brandon. And we're so proud of everything you've achieved, and the fact that you've just come from literally the back of the pack, and you've just gone like it is a real. I mean, as a fan of yours, a fan of bodybuilding, it's been a real inspirational story. And things we all want you to win. We all want you to kind of, because we want this for you. It's like we really like you're one of the real exciting talking points of Olympia, you know, to see where you've come from in the last 3 years.
Well, it's like this. I was sharing with my wife the other day. It's all about, I want people to really just understand that there's purpose in life, you know, and if you really just, you can attach to your own purpose, you know, bodybuilding is a weird thing. It's like one of those things that, you know, how do you find purpose in something like bodybuilding? But, you know, we all have different talents, different gifts, but anytime you feel like you have purpose in something, you have to understand now you're going to be challenged. Now you're going to be pushed. Sorry, there's Abdullah again. Yeah.
Bring him in. Bring him in. Sit down. Abdullah. Hello, we're doing an interview. Come and sit.
Where are you, bro?
Yeah, we're filming. Come on. Come sit down. Come and join us for 2 minutes. We're going to wrap up now, but how are you, mate? You all right? Come and sit down. So, yeah, this is Abdullah, obviously Brandon's coach. He's come to have a quick look at Brandon. So we'll quickly wrap up. But Abdullah, you happy?
I'm very happy. I'm very happy. You know, still now Brandon, he gains like 10 pounds, you know. He's still 253 pound morning, you know. And from last show, he's 42. I think Brandon, I think he might be from boss to boss. He's bigger on the stage. Nobody can catch him.
Okay, well, I think we want to finish off because
He's awesome.
Brandon, actually, the guy that photographed this front cover, it's his first front cover, is the guy behind the camera here, Hector Mendoza. So, have you? I think we're. Yeah. Well, you've got a lot of connection, you guys, haven't you?
Yeah, we go way back, man. I'm proud of Hector, man, and I'm glad I got a chance to work with him. He's able to accomplish this. We was able to accomplish this together. It's definitely a wonderful thing to share with you, bro. And many more to come, all right?
Next year we'll put my picture with the sando.
Yes, with the sando. So, well, yeah, I'll get a picture of next with the sando. So,
That's Monday.
yeah, we'll be back on Monday. Don't worry.
All right, you want me to sign this for you? All right, no problem, brother.
Signing it now to Hector Mendoza, the guy who photographed this cover. This was out of the Arnold, because I remember speaking to you in the lobby, and you said you were flying out to Nashville to do this photo shoot with Hector. And Hector's over the moon with this cover, aren't you, mate? Very happy. Freaking excited, yeah. So, okay, so we'll finish off with Brandon Curry. Oh, pen's run out. Cool. It's all right. I'll just wipe that off. You're fine. Okay, Brandon, well, we might as well wrap up now then, mate, unless you want to...
Yeah, guys, I really appreciate the opportunity. You know, MD's always been, supportive and have been a big asset in the bodybuilding community. Keep on doing the coverage, man. Keep on bringing it to us real and like it is. And, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what we would do without bodybuilding media guys like you and the professionalism of your show, Global Muscle. You've taken it to a whole new level within that community and in that genre. So
you've forgotten to mention someone.
Keep going. And AJ, man, if you ever... if you ever get legal, we'll see you at the Olympia soon. So I'm sorry we missed you, bro. I know it's a disappointment you can't be here, but I know eventually Trump will let you in.
And also I want to say thank you, MD. Okay. You guys from London is best, best ever. He support me, support all the bodybuilder, and for me, MD is number one.
Abdullah, Brandon, it's our pleasure. So I'll let these guys go and finish signing your front cover. With Brandon Curry and Abdullah here at the secret location. I'm Giles Thomas from musculardevelopment.com, and we will see you this weekend for the Mr. Olympia. Yes!